Some of the biggest health breakthroughs right now: creatine, colostrum, collagen, GLP-1 microdosing. They're not just trends. They're backed by real science. Today, I'm breaking down what the research says and why these might be game changers for your health. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. It's Natalie, and I'm thrilled that you're here today for a big episode. It's just me today, and I'm looking into recent big health breakthroughs. These are game changers for your overall health and well-being. With so much misinformation out there, it's crucial to separate scientific fact from marketing hype, social media, and all of that when it comes to certain products. Today, specifically, it's creatine, colostrum, collagen, and peptides. And I'll be honest with you, when I first heard about some of these supplements, I didn't think that I needed them. Creatine, I thought it was just for guys lifting weights, trying to gain muscle. Colostrum, well, many of us know that from nursing babies. GLP-1 peptides, the hype with that has been around weight loss. But after diving into all of the research and actually trying these for myself, I was shocked at how much science supports these as powerful tools for our overall health. So today I'm going to break it down for you, what I've learned, what the research actually says, and you can decide for yourself if they're worth trying. And before we dive in, I want to encourage you to hit subscribe wherever you are listening or watching this podcast. And please rate and review the podcast, because that allows other people to have it show up in the algorithm so they can benefit from all of this information too. And I want to make it clear, I'm not a doctor, and this podcast isn't medical advice. I'm a health journalist with a passion for cutting through the noise and bringing you science-backed information to help you make your own informed decisions about your health. I do the research, I interview a lot of experts, and I test things out myself, but I do want you to always consult with your doctor before making any changes to your routines. Are you ready to launch a side gig, maybe a small project or business? Need a professional logo that won't break the bank? Looka is the AI-powered logo maker that's perfect for entrepreneurs and freelancers. With Looka, you can create a stunning, unique logo in minutes without breaking the bank. Just answer a few simple questions about your brand and watch as Looka generates hundreds of custom logo options. It's like having a team of professional designers at your fingertips. So why settle for ordinary when you can have extraordinary? Visit natalietysdal.com/favorites and start creating the logo your side gig or your small project deserves. So let's get started today with creatine. We primarily know this as a supplement that men have used to bulk up. They would take it to get bigger muscles. But then I started seeing some studies popping up about its impact on brain function. And it turns out researchers have been looking at creatine for cognitive health for years. In 2021, meta-analysis in Neuropsychology Review confirms that creatine supplementation can improve memory and mental clarity, especially in women and in older adults. So this made me think, if creatine is helping with energy production in muscles, why wouldn't it also help the brain? And sure enough, studies show it plays a role in ATP production in brain cells, helping with mental fatigue and with focus. In fact, a study in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition found that women supplementing with creatine had better energy levels and even better hormonal support. And we know how important that is if you're in your 40s and your 50s and you're either in perimenopause or in menopause. So here's how I use it. I use Naked Nutrition's creatine, and I take about 3 to 5 grams daily, not a loading phase as traditionally people have done, just a steady amount every day. Don't worry about writing all of this down, all of the recommendations, because I'm going to put all of it in the show notes to make it easy for you. After a few weeks of taking creatine, here's what I've noticed: an improvement in focus and an improvement in my overall energy. I've also noticed that I'm sleeping better. My take is that because I have more energy during the day and because I have that energy to go on a walk or to have a better workout, of course, we know that when we work out, that we sleep better. Let's talk about colostrum. Colostrum, often called liquid gold, and for very good reason. It's the first form of milk produced by mammals, including humans, in the first few days after giving birth. If you've ever nursed a baby or you know someone who has, you might have heard about how colostrum is packed with essential nutrients, with antibodies and growth that help newborns build a strong immune system and develop a healthy gut. But here's what's fascinating. Research shows that colostrum's benefits are not just for babies. In supplement form, bovine colostrum, which comes from cows, has been found to support gut health, boost immunity, and even aid in muscle recovery for adults. It contains immunoglobulins, lactoferrin, and other bioactive compounds that help strengthen the gut lining, making it an exciting tool for people dealing with digestive issues, inflammation, or frequent illness. When I started dealing with some gut issues last year, bloating, irritation, just constant stomach aches, I started looking into this. The research on colostrum is fascinating. A 2020 study published in Frontiers in Immunology found that colostrum helps repair the gut lining overall, and it reduces inflammation, which is huge if you deal with any type of digestive issue. And get this, it's not just for gut health. There's also research on colostrum boosting your immunity. A study in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that athletes who supplemented with colostrum had fewer respiratory infections than those who didn't. That's because colostrum contains natural antibodies and growth factors that support the immune system. So here's how I'm using it. I'm taking Armra powdered colostrum. You can take it straight and just swallow the powder, which many people do, but I find that weird. I usually mix 2 of the small scoops into a glass of water, just a little shot of water, or like today, I add it to a mineral water or fizzy drink, and I think it tastes good. It has a little bit of flavor to it, but it's nothing that tastes bad. You can also add it to other things like coffee or a smoothie. And I've noticed less bloating, better digestion since I've started taking it. Third on my list today is collagen. I will never stop taking this. Collagen is one of those supplements that started as a beauty trend. Maybe you saw people talking about it on TikTok or Instagram, on any of the social media platforms. But the more I researched it, the more I realized how important it is for our overall health. And yes, it is good for your skin and your hair and your nails. But what got me hooked was its benefits for my joints and muscles, and also, like the others that I've talked about, for gut health. A 2022 study in Nutrients found that collagen supplementation helped reduce joint pain in people with osteoarthritis. And another study in the Journal of Nutrition showed that when combined with strength training, collagen actually helped build muscle and improve bone density. That is awesome and so important. So let's talk about the skin benefits. Definitely real. A 2022 review in the International Journal of Dermatology found that collagen supplementation did improve skin hydration and elasticity in as little as 12 weeks. I can personally say that since I've started taking it, my skin just looks healthier and more hydrated. So here's how I am using collagen. I have a few different brands that I go back and forth between. They're both really good. I like the Naked brand, but I also use Vital Protein Collagen, and I buy that at Costco. You can just mix it into anything, and I often just put it in my coffee along with the cream that I put in my coffee. But I've also found it really easy to mix into anything that is baked. I put it in my scrambled eggs, which I know that sounds weird, but you don't even know it's there. You can put it in muffins or anything else that you're baking. And by the way, I've done the research on this. It does not lose its potency when heated to normal baking and cooking temperatures. It dissolves easily, and I like knowing that I'm doing something good for my joints, my muscles, my skin all at once. And my last health breakthrough is the biggest metabolic health breakthrough that I think that we've seen, at least in my lifetime, and that is GLP-1 peptides. You've probably heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, semaglutide, tirzepatide. They are being used for weight loss. But what most people don't realize is that GLP-1 is actually a hormone that our body produces naturally. It helps regulate blood sugar, appetite, and metabolism. And while the full doses used for weight loss can have some side effects, emerging research shows that microdosing GLP-1 may provide metabolic and anti-inflammatory benefits without the extreme appetite suppression. So let me tell you about this. A 2023 study in Nature Metabolism found that GLP-1 microdosing helped improve insulin sensitivity and reduce chronic inflammation, two things that are key for long-term health, not just weight management. Another study in Cell Metabolism suggests that GLP-1 agonists may actually help protect against cognitive decline, which is fascinating because we're starting to see the connections between metabolism and brain health. This is big news for the prevention of things like Alzheimer's and dementia. A study published in the journal Alzheimer's and Dementia found that semaglutide, which is a GLP-1 agonist, significantly reduced the risk of developing Alzheimer's disease in people with type 2 diabetes. Studies also indicate that GLP-1 receptor agonists could play a role in reducing inflammation, which is a key factor for conditions like cardiovascular disease, fatty liver disease, even autoimmune disorders. These findings suggest that GLP-1-based therapies could become a very powerful tool for addressing a wide range of chronic health conditions, not just metabolic disorders. So let me tell you how I'm exploring it right now. I'm still learning about this, and I'm talking to experts, and I've just started microdosing a really small dose where many people are taking 30, 40, 50 milligrams. I'm doing 10, and I haven't had any side effects. It is a prescription medication, and there are online pharmacies and telehealth options so you can get it directly from your computer. Almost all doctors' offices, though, are able to get this for patients, and they're doing it pretty regularly. Many functional health doctors and even chiropractors are prescribing this as well, so be sure to ask your medical professional. So what's the big takeaway today? There are several. The things I've talked about aren't just trendy supplements. There is a science behind all of them. Creatine, not just for athletes, but really good for brain function, energy, and metabolism. Colostrum, a powerful tool for gut health and immunity. Collagen, go-to for joints, skin, muscle support, and you'll get other benefits for your hair even. GLP-1 microdosing, an exciting new tool for metabolic and cognitive health. If any of these sparked your interest, I encourage you to look into the research yourself. I'm going to link the studies that I mentioned in the show notes, along with the brands that I personally use and trust. And if you've tried any of these, I'd love to hear your experience. Send me a DM, send me an email. And if you found this episode helpful, share it with a friend who is curious about optimizing their health or someone who maybe needs the help. Maybe they have digestive issues or some brain health issues or just that brain fog. And I believe when combined, they add up to more energy and better overall health. I also want to mention a resource that I've had many people ask me about lately because I talked about it in a previous episode. I wrote a guide for mood-boosting foods, and I'm happy to send that to you. You will find a link for that download in the show notes. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for joining the Natalie Tysdal Podcast. You can follow along on Instagram and at natalietysdal.com. Subscribe to the show to catch every new episode and leave a review so I can continue to bring you fresh content. See you next week.